Shrimp is an aquatic crustacean in the same family as crabs and lobsters. Found in both freshwater and saltwater, shrimp is not only essential for the balance of ecosystems, but it is also one of the most consumed seafood in the world, renowned for its delicate flavor and high nutritional value. The United States is the largest consumer of shrimp in the world. Each North American consumes, on average, more than 2 kilograms of shrimp per year. Because domestic production is very small, the U.S. imports most of its shrimp, primarily from Asian and Latin American countries. By the late 1960s, fishermen could no longer keep up with the growing global demand for shrimp. This increase in demand was driven by global population growth and increased seafood consumption. To address this problem, commercial shrimp aquaculture emerged. This innovative practice not only offered a sustainable solution to the shrimp shortage in traditional fisheries, but also provided a stable source of income for many coastal communities. With its favorable climate, vast stretches of coastline, and centuries-old tradition of fish aquaculture, the Asian continent has become the modern center of this form of intensive shrimp farming. In today's video, we'll learn together how millions of freshwater shrimp are raised and processed in an industry worth over $80 billion annually. Stay with me until the end. Welcome to another video on the Tudo Tech HD channel. I ask that you leave your like, subscribe, and activate the bell for all notifications. Commercial shrimp aquaculture, also called shrimp farming, is the controlled farming of shrimp in farms or artificial tanks, with the goal of producing large quantities for human consumption and export. Rather than relying solely on limited and variable sea fishing, shrimp farming allows millions of shrimp to be raised in a controlled environment, ensuring a stable and constant supply to the consumer market. It all begins with the selection of the broodstock, which are healthy adult shrimp chosen to ensure good genetic quality. They are kept in special tanks with a supplementary diet and a controlled environment. After breeding, adult females release thousands of fertilized eggs into controlled tanks. Each female can produce 100,000 to 500,000 eggs at a time. These eggs are transferred to incubation tanks, where the larval stage begins. This is where the future shrimp undergo the first and most delicate stages of their lives. The first stage is the nauplius, a microscopic form that does not yet feed, living solely on internal reserves. Then comes the zoea stage, where they begin to swim and feed on microalgae cultivated especially for them. Next comes the mysis stage, in which they resemble small shrimp and are fed brine shrimp, which are small live crustaceans. Finally, they become post-larvae, already with the defined appearance of miniature shrimp. At this stage, they can be transferred to nurseries or directly to grow-out ponds. Throughout the larval farming process, water quality is monitored in every detail. Temperature, salinity, oxygen, and nutrients must be kept at the right level. Furthermore, the tanks are equipped with lighting and aeration systems to maintain a healthy environment. After the post-larvae pass through the nursery, they are already more resilient and move on to the grow-out ponds. These ponds are most often ponds dug into the ground, which can be lined with tarps or kept on packed earth, depending on the level of technology adopted. They are typically between 1 and 2 meters deep, allowing for good water circulation and easy management. Their areas can range from small ponds of a few thousand square meters to large ponds of over 10 hectares. In more modern and intensive systems, ponds take other forms: circular concrete tanks, reinforced plastic pools, and even closed modules with full temperature, salinity, and oxygen control, capable of ensuring high crop densities and year-round production. Shrimp stocking densities in ponds vary greatly depending on the technology used. In traditional systems, which are simpler and have less control, each square meter houses 10 to 30 shrimp. In intensive and super-intensive systems with constant water monitoring, mechanical aeration, and automated feeding, this density can reach 300 shrimp per square meter. This means much higher production while taking up much less space. Water quality is one of the most critical factors for successful shrimp farming, and maintaining a stable environment is essential. To achieve this, the ponds rely on constant aeration, provided by paddle or wheel aerators that mix and oxygenate the water, preventing the formation of areas without circulation. The temperature also needs to be strictly controlled, remaining within the ideal range of 28 to 30 degrees Celsius. Furthermore, technicians monitor essential parameters such as pH, salinity, ammonia, and nitrite daily, as any imbalance in these indicators can directly compromise shrimp growth and survival. The shrimp receive a balanced diet rich in protein, vitamins, and minerals. In modern farms, automatic sensors and smart feeders adjust the exact amount of feed, preventing waste and reducing water pollution. The cycle in the nurseries lasts on average 90 to 180 days, depending on the species cultivated and the desired size for commercialization. During this period, the shrimp undergoes several samplings to measure growth, average weight, and health. Finally, the shrimp reach commercial size, ranging from 12 to 30 grams per unit, ready for harvest. There are two main methods for this stage. The first is total harvesting. The pond is completely drained, and all the shrimp are removed at once. This method is used when the cultivation cycle is over and the pond is being prepared for a new crop. The second is partial harvesting. In this method, trawl nets slide through the pond, removing only a portion of the shrimp. This way, the larger ones go to market, while the smaller ones continue growing until they reach the ideal size. Regardless of the method, speed is essential. Immediately after capture, the shrimp are washed and immersed in ice. This immediate cooling preserves their texture and flavor, and ensures they arrive for processing in perfect condition. Once the shrimp are harvested from the ponds, they are quickly transported in ice-filled boxes to the processing plants. This transportation must be fast and temperature-controlled to ensure the product arrives fresh and without loss of quality. At the factory, batches undergo rigorous inspection. Here, technicians check the condition of the shrimp, remove impurities, and reject any that do not meet the required quality standards. The shrimp are then washed in tanks filled with ice-cold chlorinated water. This process eliminates residue and ensures a completely safe environment for consumption. After being washed, the shrimp are removed from the water and allowed to drain off excess liquid. They are then placed back in baskets filled with crushed ice, ensuring their temperature remains below 4 degrees Celsius. This care is essential to prevent the proliferation of microorganisms and preserve the natural freshness of the product. They are then taken to one of the most important stages of processing, peeling, and initial preparation. At this stage, the type of processing depends on consumer market demands. In some cases, shrimp are kept whole, with shells and heads attached, ideal for traditional dishes and markets that value a complete presentation. They can be pre-cooked in salted water, where they acquire a characteristic orange hue and are practically ready to eat. In other processing methods, the next step is decapitation, where operators use a specialized tool similar to an open thimble. The heads are removed with a few quick, precise movements. The decapitation process is a rigorous and demanding task. The decapitated shrimp are sent to sorting rollers, where they are separated by size. The smallest shrimp are placed between the first rollers, while the largest advance to the last. This allows the shrimp to be sorted into 5 categories according to their size. The temperature is constantly monitored to ensure they remain properly refrigerated. Once decapitated and sorted by size, the shrimp are ready to continue the process. In the next step, the shrimp are peeled. This involves carefully removing the outer shell. This is done carefully to avoid damaging the shrimp meat. During the peeling process, the tails of some shrimp are cut off, while others are left intact, as this is a characteristic appreciated by consumers. After peeling, the shrimp are cleaned. The intestinal vein, which is the shrimp's digestive tract, is located on the dorsal side of its body. A shallow incision is made on the upper side of the shrimp. The vein is carefully removed with a knife to improve the appearance and quality of the shrimp, as well as to eliminate any possible bitter taste, ensuring a cleaner and more value-added product. Immediately after processing, shrimp must undergo one of the most critical phases: freezing. There are 2 main methods. In mass freezing tunnels, large batches of shrimp are grouped together and exposed to intense currents of cold air, reaching temperatures below -30 degrees Celsius. This thermal shock quickly freezes the product, maintaining its safety and extending its shelf life. There's also individual quick freezing, called IQF, where each shrimp is placed separately on conveyor belts and frozen individually within a few minutes. This method is highly valued because it preserves texture, color, and flavor, and allows consumers to thaw only the desired quantity without compromising the rest of the batch. The shrimp pass through automated packaging lines, where they are organized into vacuum boxes, sealed bags, or plastic trays. This process ensures protection against external contamination and maintains stable freezing throughout transport. If you enjoyed this episode, please like it and share it with your friends. Leave a comment telling us where you watch from and what you thought of this video. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we publish new content. Thank you for sticking with me this far. If you want to continue learning, click on one of the recommended videos that appears on your screen. I pray that God blesses you and your home, and may you always be well.